Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Another Disney Podcast. It is part 2 in our series, our first ever series of 3 we're calling Let's Eat. I know it's not really clever, but it works. And tonight, we're talking about, or this episode, we're talking about sit-down meals in all 4 parks. Well, specifically, our favorites. Here we go.
This is another Disney podcast production.
Hey, Brandon Palm, you're back. It's like 2 weeks in a row. You must be a regular.
Yeah, I must be a regular. It feels weird. I gotta say, it feels weird being on the show 2 weeks in a row, or us actually recording the show 2 weeks in a row. So
fair enough.
That is the thing that is even more remarkable. But
yes.
I am back. I am in it for the long haul, buddy. So you better be ready to record.
I am.
A lot of shows.
It's weird, man. During COVID, it was so easy because we didn't do anything. We didn't go anywhere. Nothing was open. So it was not really difficult to plan our usual night of recording. Now it's like, dude, we got this with the kids and we're doing this at church and I got this gig. It's crazy. And it's
life.
Yeah. Which we're going to yank the normalcy right out of you and Krista's life here in a few weeks. So that's going to be
fun. It's coming.
Okay. Part deux. But
part deux.
Before we jump into that, we and this is true, right? We genuinely hunted for some useful news.
Yeah,
and
it's been such a slow news. Maybe 2 weeks has been so slow. Nothing momentous has happened at Walt Disney World, which is kind of nice, right? It would be bad if we had 50 breaking news stories about all these things that were going wrong or changing. So it is, in a way, it's kind of nice that there's not any breaking news. But yeah, we definitely hunted for something to just throw at the people before we got into the eating.
Yeah, there just isn't anything ooh. I mean, I think the coolest thing to talk about, or not coolest. Yeah, people are going to be like, really? You thought this was the coolest story? It kind of doesn't surprise me, but then when you look at every other holiday, it's not really like that. So it surprised me. So let's back up. So we just wrapped Memorial Day here in the United States. And so, which is a holiday that most working Americans have off that Monday. And so it's the last Monday in May, I think is how, no, it's always the date. No, it's always the Monday. It's not the date. It's the Monday. So typically a high travel weekend is most of the country is now enjoying warmer weather. I think that's fair. I mean, I know that Colorado got slammed a couple weeks ago with a giant snowstorm, but for the most part, the Northeast, out west, Northwest, things are, spring is in the air. We'll just call it that. And so people are coming out of their hibernation and playing a little. And this is the first big weekend where, for here locally, for us, all the pools open, all the water parks open. And so, and it's already 90 here. It's probably not that much different than Florida already, but I will stop whining and complaining about that because spring came in 4 days, it was gone. But typically, with any major holiday, a lot of people flock to a place like Disney World. And what was surprising was the crowds were shockingly low, I think is fair to say.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Shockingly. I mean, Krista had a couple friends in town this weekend, saw their pictures posted on Facebook. And I mean, there is no one in the background of their pictures. One of her friends was at the Stockades over by Liberty Tree Tavern and the Liberty Bell boat. And there might be 2 people in the background of the whole picture. So, I mean, think about the last time you walked through that area while at Walt Disney World and there was no one around.
Right.
So, I mean, super surprising.
That is not a pinch point like it is between Small World and Peter Pan, but I would say it's a tight, when you round the corner where there's a little cart where you can get some snacks and then the sitting area where all 917 of the stork birds live or whatever those things are called. That right there is a pretty tight area leading over toward Fantasyland. But so it's usually quite a lot of folks, and it was there, it was several people reporting wow, look at and then finally all the blogs came out way lower than expected crowds were here. And so that to me was the most interesting news story to talk about. And I think it's because it's a two-sided coin or a double-edged sword, however you want to look at it. On the one hand, I think these I'm just going to call it what it is. I think it's a whole bunch of things. I think these prices and these crowd levels were like, people were like, well, let's not go that weekend. Let's go later in the summer or whatever they like. And so a lot of people stayed away. And like I said at the top of the show, why I think it's weird is that's never the case with like 4th of July or Christmas or New Year's or Thanksgiving, right? But I mean, I guess those are bigger holidays, but still, like, you would think Memorial Day is pretty big just because of what it is. And like, you know, people are like, we got an extra day off. Maybe they take off Friday and Monday and you can get a good 4 or 5, you know, and if they're just breaking into spring, they can fly down to Florida where it's already summertime. And so, but I just can't help but wonder if people were like looking at their calendars, oh, we could go. And then they were like, no way, it's going to be too slammed. I mean, I guess that's what people kind of said.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last year, I mean, all you see on Disney blogs and, you know, on the Facebook pages is how many people there, how long the waits are. Like, so that may have had something to do with it. I also think like the pent up demand for Walt Disney World is starting to wane. Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before. I mean, you have the 50th anniversary, but, you know, aside from Guardians, which just opened, there's not really anything new here. So I think people, you know, the 50th crowd is kind of waned down. The people who wanted to see Guardians came, and now I think you're gonna see maybe a lull until we get Tron open and a couple of the newer attractions. So this might be a great time to go to Walt Disney World, I think. And what about, like you said, the pricing? Yeah, the summer crowds I think will be manageable. I think they're going to be manageable. I don't think it's going to be hugely packed. One, because it's hot as the blazes. It's already hot as the blazes here. I think it was 96 degrees today, something like that. 287% humidity. But yeah, I think people are going to wait to have a couple more new things open up. And then you had mentioned like the prices. Obviously there's all sorts of articles about how Disney's pricing out the middle class people. Everything costs more now. And then obviously life costs more now, right? You got gas costs more, groceries cost more. I don't know that the average middle income American family has $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to spend on Disney right now. So that may be playing into it as well. So it's like this perfect storm of demand versus the ability to go is what I think.
I mean, I think the demand is there, but when, like, at least here locally, you know, gas is $4.50 a gallon. It's been that way for weeks, you know. Like, my wife was like, hey, I know you don't ever do the grocery shopping with me, but let me give you something. She was like, this bag of chicken breasts, like, this used to be $3. It's now $9. I was like, oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
And so, that adds up. And like, I can't remember if I talked about it on this show or not. I know I think I talked about it on our sister program, but it was Kim's idea. She said, well, how about we go to Disneyland? Because we've never taken the kids. And Kim loved it. She was enamored with Cars Land, and she was like, oh my gosh, our kids got to see that. And like, your average air and even borderline budget, I don't know that I would call Southwest budget as some, you know, compared to like JetBlue, Allegiant, but it's not American or United, you know, but anyway, I still got, but the median price for now we do live on the East Coast. So I get we're about as far east as you can go. And, you know, so I get that it's flying across the country, but it was with American, it was $4,000. And with which like 4,300, it was like right at 4,000 with Southwest. And we have a Breeze airline, which is kind of new. The guy that started JetBlue did, and that was half, but it was still $2,300 just for the four of us to get there and back. And so that guess what we chose to do? Not that.
Go there.
We're driving to the mountains for vacation this year. I mean, so like, we're feeling it. I mean, we were prepared and ready. I was like, we had a budget for the trip, and like probably 3 years ago, it would have been just fine for us to go. Maybe stretching it a little bit, but we could have pulled it off. And now, so I mean, I think that's certainly part of it. And then I think you do have your crowd that may have just like, oh, we could go on Memorial Day weekend, and then they probably talked to this unit like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's just pick a random week in the summer. You know, and you just kind of roll the dice and try to get lucky. But I mean, I think it's a myriad of things, but I'm always surprised because you just think a holiday like, oh Lord, it's going to be crazy. And it was the opposite.
Yeah. And the thing that surprised me was that if you went and tried to get a reservation to the parks, you couldn't. Like the reservations
Yeah.
were still all very full, but it just didn't seem like the crowd matched the reservation. So very mystifying. It's picked up a little this week. Wait times have started to go kind of back to where they
Yeah.
were, but yeah, very surprising for Memorial Day. I just think it was a combo of we're not going on a holiday and we're not spending money. So
Yeah.
good for the people who got to experience a semi-empty Walt Disney World for a couple days.
Yeah. And we're
Lucky.
right there with you with the weather. So we're recording this at right now. It is 7:39 p.m. on a Wednesday in the beautiful city of Virginia Beach, right on the coast. Did I say it was 7:39 p.m.? It is 90 degrees outside. It's June 1st.
Woo!
There's no need for
you're
that.
hotter than us.
There's
We're
no
like
need for
84.
that.
We're 84 right
Absolutely
now, so you're
stupid.
winning.
So yeah, spring. Well, we did have a spring. It just rained. It rained a lot. So there it is. All right, two old men complaining about Disney, but this was just more about life. Great. So that's our show. See you guys next
Have
week.
a good day. We'll see you next week for part 3 of Let's Eat.
Yes. So, oh crap, we didn't talk about food. Okay. Yeah. So we were gonna do
Oh goodness.
sit down. Now I think we do have to preface this with, we've talked a lot about that we're foodies, but we're more park lovers than we are foodies. And I would definitely say early on in our park going, we were quick service and go, quick service and go, quick service and go. We just wanted to like soak in. You guys didn't live there yet. We were drinking in as much of the parks as we could. Now that we go more, we always try to sprinkle in a couple of like sit down experiences, which I've fully enjoyed. So we're not as well versed in, like, we haven't eaten at 70% of the restaurants that you sit down at, like in the
Yes,
parks. We've
correct.
probably eaten
Correct.
at 20%, but the meals that we have had, I think we had some great places to pick from. And so that I just wanted to give, like, there's your asterisk of like, because people are going to be like, you know, here's the 77 other choices that, like, how can they say that's better than this? Well, it's probably because we didn't eat there.
It's probably because we didn't eat there, and also it's our show, so we're going to give
That's
you our
right.
favorite.
We're giving you our
That's
favorites.
right.
You
It's
listen
our
because you
show.
like us.
That's right. I mean,
No one likes us.
hopefully. Some
Okay.
people's parents probably make them listen to
Yeah,
our show.
you're right. I can think of Mimi. Well, of course, Mimi from Disney Assembled, she likes to listen to our show. At least she used to. Probably doesn't anymore.
Probably not.
But they like listening on the way to school. Of course, school is probably out in Texas now. Anyway, guys, so good to think of you. Have a great summer. And I know that her dad's he runs a school, so I think he's off for the summer too. I should have done that. I should have went to school to do that. What are you? I'm a headmaster. I work 9 months out of the year. Suck
That's
it.
I went to school to run a school.
Oh, we love you guys. Disney Assembled. You got to check them out. Great father-daughter podcast. Okay, here we go. Where do you want to start? Where should we go first?
I think we should start. Where did we start last time? We started at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So let's go in reverse this time. I think we did Magic Kingdom last. So let's do Magic Kingdom first.
Great.
This time.
All right. Beauty before age. So you get to go first.
Wow. That's the only time I'll ever get to go first. So as Dave said and prefaced, like, we haven't eaten at 90% of the restaurants in the Magic Kingdom. But the ones we have eaten at, we continue to eat at because we love them. We think they're delicious. So my choice for the best sit-down restaurant at the Magic Kingdom is Be Our Guest restaurant back in Fantasyland.
Ooh.
Now, I used to love Be Our Guest when it was a quick service location for lunch. Now, if you haven't been there since COVID, they no longer have the quick service lunch option. It is now a price fixed menu at all times. So the same meal for lunch and for dinner, which kind of takes away, you were able to get in there for a relatively cheap price.
Yeah.
For the experience. They had a great hot roast beef sandwich that was served on like garlic bread. That was amazing. That is no longer there, but you got to experience like this amazingly themed restaurant, and you didn't have to pay, $80 a person like you do now. So that's why I loved it initially. But then we were there a couple years ago, and Krista and I went for dinner to celebrate our anniversary and had one of the best meals that I have ever had anywhere on Disney property.
Wow.
Our server was amazing. The food was amazing. I think we both got steaks. They were cooked so good. That was back when you could order off the menu, but the steak is still on the menu for the price fix. So I just love this restaurant mainly because of the theming.
Right.
If you've never been there, there's 3 separate rooms you can sit in. You can sit in the main ballroom that's straight out of the movie. You can look out the windows. Snow is falling outside, which is amazing. The first time I went in there, I was like, oh my God, it's like it's snowing outside the window.
It does look real.
And it looks real. It is amazing. And then obviously you have the West Wing where the Beast stays and where the rose is. If you sit in there, the thunder claps, the paintings change, the petal falls off the rose. So that is amazing. And then on the other side is like the library, which is also super cool, but it is the most dull. I don't want to say dull. It's the most boring,
it's the least interactive room, I guess.
The least interactive. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But yeah, Be Our Guest has great food. I think it's $62 a person now, which isn't horrible. And you can pick an appetizer, a main meal, and then a dessert. And they have some great options. They switch it up. They got their French onion soup back, which is amazing.
Yeah, that is good.
And then they have a pork tenderloin and a filet mignon and some fish. And then, of course, they have the gray stuff for dessert. So that's my pick. I'm rambling on about it because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And you get to meet the Beast at dinner time.
Yeah.
You get to meet and take pictures with the Beast.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would do this, but I do like that it's not a fixed menu, right? Like, I do like that it's fixed price, but you've got like a handful of choices. So, I mean, I guess they really have to do that, but I don't know, some kind of places I think are like, hey, here's our menu, but that's probably more for special events. So I've never done dinner there. We always did the lunch thing, and hands down my favorite room is the West Wing. It's just really neat in there. Unfortunately, it's the smallest of the 3 areas.
Yeah, you always got to fight for a table in there.
So we just go and stand there and wait because I'm like, if we have a bigger party, we usually go to the ballroom just because the tables are much larger in there. But
just stare at them, make them feel uncomfortable.
It's right. It is a really cool environment for sure. And I would say that mine is as well. I have it's newer compared to everything else in the park. And that is, you've heard us ramble about it quite a bit, and that is Skipper Canteen, which is directly across from the boat ride that just...
The Jungle Cruise.
Yes, thank you. I was like, Jingle All the Way? Wait, Jungle Cruise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave is a Disney expert.
Yes. Call me for all of your Disney questions. Just don't ask me names. But I like the theming in there is really cool. The whole backstory that goes along with it, and then the different rooms. Like even the restrooms are really rad. I know that we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but they have cool bathrooms in there. But it is just a really cool joint, and they have great food. It's kind of unexpected. It's one of those that hardly, I mean, unless it's a busy week or weekend, it hardly ever is booked fully. Now, I wouldn't say you could always do walk up, but it's fairly easy to get a reservation to that if all of your other favorites are filled. And like I have always loved the steak, and I know that they have changed. They still have steak, but they have changed it. But I'm okay with that because the first time that I ever went there, the steak is completely different than it was when I started going with y'all. The first time it was the second best steak I've had on property, and I'll talk about the first one when the time presents itself. But I love the Skipper Canteen, and now that like they've rethemed a little bit with the new backstory, like it even ties in like more with the restaurant. I think it's really cool. And it's good food, and it's not like insane. Like, I mean, the steak is like what, $35?
Yeah, it might even be less than that. I don't think it's that. Well, yeah, maybe $30. Yeah. It's not unbelievably expensive. We were there a couple of weeks ago with Matthew, and Yeah, I mean, I always love that place.
Yep.
It has a sweet waiting area, like when you're sitting waiting for your
Yes.
food, or not your food, waiting for your table. You can sit in their kind of courtyard that has these
Mm-hmm.
high back chairs that are super comfortable. They got fans going over. It's a shaded area that you can take advantage of. Maybe if you get your
Mm-hmm.
treat from Dole Whip or Sunshine Tree Terrace,
Yes.
you can take it over there and have a little ice cream in the shade and the fan. But yeah, I love that place. The theming's cool. If you ever go and you're seated in the main room and you're walking towards the bathroom and you walk through a little alcove that has a bunch of books in it, read the names of the books.
Yes.
Yes, I mean there's so many little details in the restaurant. The back room that we sat in last time, the chandeliers are amazing.
Yes.
They look like the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Yeah.
So they're super amazing. But yeah, I love that restaurant. I had never gone there until the one day that you were like, "Hey, you got to come to this restaurant with me and try it out." And I try to make it anytime somebody's in town and at the Magic Kingdom, I try to see if we can go there.
And what is it? What is it called? What is the chicken? Chicken fried chicken? Is that what it's called? What is it called?
It's like so good it tastes like chicken because it is, or something like that.
So yeah, the menu
Or
names
tastes
are
just
really
like
fun.
chicken because it is. Yeah, it's good. And they have this amazing appetizer. It's like it's not on the menu, so it's like a secret hack, but it's like cheese bread.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah, but you have to ask for it because it's not on the menu.
It's a chef's specialty, I guess we'll call it.
Chef's
So yeah,
specialty.
those are our two.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton at Disney World, but like we've eaten at Tony's, like with you guys, and like that's typically slammed as like one of the worst on all of property. But
Yeah.
I mean, I like it wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't awful. You know.
Yeah, I just think Tony's is just it's like you can get that food at Olive Garden,
Yeah.
but you're not paying Olive Garden prices, you're paying
Yes.
Disney price. So
Yeah.
yeah.
True. Okay. All right.
All right.
So we're going
Where should we
backwards.
go
Is
next?
Epcot
Yeah.
where we went last time? I can't remember. It was
Yes. Yes.
Epcot. Okay. Perfect.
What do you got?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go
ours
first.
is funny that we lead right into it. The best steak I've ever had on property, and that is in Canada. I can't think of the name of it now.
It's Le Cellier.
I almost said Chef de France, and nope.
That's coming up in a minute.
Yes, we ate there. Now, like it's been a while, but we ate there when the dining plan existed, and it is a special occasion restaurant. And what I mean by that is the price I think would reflect that, because I think our tip was almost $60.
Yeah.
So, and like, again, it was covered because of, like the dining plan, but yeah, it was phenomenal. And I love how it's tucked in. Like you go through the little, into the garden area in Canada, you go around underneath, and it's like this little, it's the cellar. So it like, you kind of go underground a little bit, and it's kind of tight and cumbersome in there, but I love all of it just goes together so well. And the food is phenomenal. I know that in recent years it has really slipped, but I hear it's coming back. So I don't know if they switched chefs or what happened there. I don't know if it was just a result of COVIDness, but so if you have heard no, I've heard that's off. Yes, I was fully aware of that, but it is rebounding well, I believe. So that is Le Cellier, not Chef de, I don't know how to say that word. But yes, best steak I've ever had on property.
Yeah. And I've never had the privilege of eating there. So, and many of our listeners probably haven't either. But if you go during the Food and Wine Festival and go to the booth in Canada, you can get a little taste of that filet that they serve in Le Cellier, along with some of the beer cheese soup, which is
I had that.
fantastic.
Yep. Yeah,
the beer cheese, and I'm not a cheese person.
That's right.
So for me to say
says a
that
lot.
the beer cheese soup is pretty good says a lot. So
Yep.
if you can't make it to Le Cellier, just make sure you go during Food and Wine Festival and grab some at the little booth. But
right.
I've heard it's delicious. I've always wanted to try it. Somehow we always find our way to California Grill instead. So maybe one day we'll make the trek over to Le Cellier. But yeah. Yeah,
Well, it's probably
it's
easier
been
because you
great.
don't need a freaking reservation. Well, I mean, you do,
That's
but you don't need a
correct.
park reservation and to try to get the
Correct.
restaurant reservation. So,
Correct.
'cause-
Yeah, that made me remember. I saw 3 things on the annual pass holder Facebook group this week that was like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I have a reservation at the restaurant in the park and I can't go because I don't have a park reservation?
yes,
I mean, people, we are 2 years into the reservation system. Like, learn how it works. That's all I got to say.
it's not going
That's all I
anywhere.
got to say. Not going anywhere. But where were we? Oh, yes, you've given away my answer to my favorite
Because I don't know the names of
restaurant
anything.
on property because you don't know the name of anything. Now, when we go to Epcot, we usually eat at Via Napoli. I love Via Napoli. It's great. Normally, that would be my pick for my favorite sit down. But to me, it's kind of more like a casual quick service almost,
Yeah.
but it's a sit down. But for this one, I'm going to go with Chef de France. Now,
There it is.
I had never been to Chef de France until last year on Krista's birthday. Our friends Mandy and Nathan, shout out if you're listening. I know you do listen, Nathan. Our friends Mandy and Nathan got a preview for Remy's, so we were right there. So we booked a reservation for Chef de France.
Nice.
And so we went on the attraction, and then we went to the restaurant. Now, the thing I love about this restaurant, we got there a little late, so we weren't able to wait for a table. But if you go in the restaurant, right up in the front, there's a great section of tables. It's in like a big glass atrium almost, and you can sit there, and it just gives you a great view of everybody out in the park. Everybody walks by, you can
nice.
see out into the Showcase Lagoon. So it's really nice there. But the thing that they had great food. When we went, there was a price fix menu. I don't think that's there at all times, but
Okay.
they again had amazing French onion soup, which is good because it's a French restaurant. And then I think Krista had some braised short rib and I had a filet, and then the dessert was amazing, but it's a true like French experience. So
Nice.
like we got there and the servers were rude and the maitre d' was rude, and I was like, man, I feel like this is really a French experience. But the food was amazing. I would go back again. We were rushed kind of last time because we spent much longer on Ratatouille than we probably needed to. So we got there, our reservation was at 9. We got there at like 9:10 and they were closing at 10. So, everything felt a little bit rushed, but the food was amazing. The atmosphere is really cool. And it's kind of like a fine dining experience in Epcot. And I think the food is priced well. Like you get what you pay for there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to go with Chef de France in
Nice.
Epcot.
I think that's good. And like I would say it is fair to say that Epcot is probably, I don't know if it would have the best restaurants on property, but it definitely has the most sit down options like in a park.
Yes.
Like obviously Disney Springs is going to
Yes.
rule them all, but that, obviously that's why they have so many food related festivals. But it's like, and you get to play the whole around the world cuisine if you want, if you spend your vacations and maybe try to hit and eat in every place. But yeah, those are just a few that we've been to. And they're obviously memorable, right? I mean, I'm saying that it's the best steak I've had on property. So, and Brandon had the legit French root experience. We love the French. They just don't love us.
Yes, we do. It was just hilarious. Like the guy handed us the menu and he was like, we're closing soon, so make sure you know what you want when your server comes. I was like, okay, you're closing in 50 minutes, but let's do it.
That's right. Thanks, Francais. Oh, that doesn't make
Thank
any
you,
sense.
Francais.
Yeah, I guess that's a weird name.
Merci, Francais.
All right. So in alphabetical order, we're going next to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Or is that where we end?
Disney's Hollywood Studios.
I don't know.
Disney's Hollywood
Oh, we did.
Studios.
No, we started with that. So it's got to be Animal Kingdom. That's where we got to go next.
It's got to be Animal Kingdom.
And this one, like, I'm
Yeah.
all by myself here.
You
Right.
are all by yourself because we were talking about this, a couple days ago, and we were trying to just, outline what we were going to talk about so we didn't steal each other's like we normally
Right.
do. And I kind of thought about it and realized I haven't really sat down at a restaurant at Animal Kingdom. It's the only park that I have not sat down at a sit down restaurant and ate. Everything's Pizza Safari, Flame Tree Barbecue, Satuli Canteen. When I think Animal Kingdom, I don't think of a sit down experience. So, because it's usually a half day park. So you go there in the morning, you do the safari, you do Flight of Passage, you jump on Everest, and then you're headed off to a different park. So not usually there for dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you on an island on this one because I have not sat down anywhere at Epcot. The closest thing I could come up with was Rainforest Cafe. That's kind of attached to Animal Kingdom, and I haven't even been to the one that's at Animal Kingdom. I've been to the one that's at Disney Springs, but they're the same, so I feel like they're the same. That's as close as I've gotten.
So yeah, I would not even rate that one. So it's probably worth not talking about. Okay, so let's go with I was like, it's like I'm choosing. I think I'll choose the only one that I've ever eaten at, and that is Tusker House. And why we did that was, it was a meet and greet it's a character meet and greet buffet, and B, it was way back when Rivers of Light was new, and so we got like this really cool, I think it's a popcorn bucket. I don't know what it was, but it was like a big flower that was one of the boats in the show, and it like lit up. But like I took my daughter, who at the time was maybe in elementary school. Wait, she's still in elementary school. That's stupid. Maybe kindergarten or first grade. And so it was great to see all the characters, and they dance all around the thing. But but the food can be a little bit challenging for your littles because it is, I guess they call it African inspired flavors. And so, and it's a buffet. So they kind of had normal stuff, but they also had some really cool stuff to try and like good desserts. And like I said, it's a character meet and greet. And so, that is the benefit of going. Is that fair? I don't know. Like, I feel like
the advantage of going, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a great one. And I personally, I know some people are only like to see like the Fab Five in their traditional outfits, but I like when you go to different things, different experiences, it's relevant to where you're at. And so they're dressed very like campy.
Safari.
I know that's
Safari.
Because it used to be Camp Mini Mickey there way back. That was where you could go meet them all, and then they rode on the boats, and well, I guess they still ride on the boats because of COVID. But like I always look for, they're like, oh, they're dressed like campers because it was Camp Mini Mickey. But yeah, Safari probably makes more sense. So let's see if I can see a couple of flavors here because it's weird. Why is it only showing me breakfast? I'm going to give you prices. It's breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Doesn't matter. It's $35 to $60 per adult, which is weird to me that like there's two prices for adults. Is that weird to you?
That's random. That's weird.
Like
on the actual Disney site, it says $36 per child. Well, no, it's breakfast is $27 per child, $42 per adult, and lunch and dinner are $36 per child and $55 per adult.
I am on Disney site and I'm looking at it, and it says meal pricing, breakfast menu, $35 to $59.99 per adult, and it is the exact same thing for lunch, the exact same thing for dinner.
That's weird.
I promise you. Look it up yourself. Disneyworld.disney.go.com / a whole bunch of weird characters. So we went for lunch. So you get like some house-made breads. Like there's like, you can get like stuff with, like they have hummus and some like mango chutneys. I remember that. And they have an African-inspired salad. I skipped past that. And then they have Moroccan spiced beef, which was phenomenal. I love spicy food. It was so good. But then they have like, spit roasted herb chicken. That's always sounds weird to be like, enjoy the chicken. And then they have curry. Their curry shrimp was really good. And then they have like marinated pork, which is good. And then green beans and carrots and corn, roasted potatoes, jasmine rice. And then here's where you land with some kids. House-made macaroni and cheese. She ate that. And then they have an Impossible Durban curry. I had it like it tasted like curry. It was good.
Yeah.
And then they, of course, they have like some specialty drinks and then mocktails and cocktails. But like the lunch was, it was good. Like it was a little bit of different flavor, and they tried to sprinkle in a little bit of, Africa in there since you were in Animal Kingdom. But obviously we were there to get like better seating for the show, the cool little popcorn or whatever bucket it was, and then the character meet and greet. But it was good. I love seeing them, and they come. I think it was Donald, Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Goofy.
That sounds right.
I think it was all five. I think it was all five of them. Now that I said it was all five. Or maybe it wasn't Daisy. Maybe it was Donald, Mickey, Goofy, Minnie.
Pluto?
No, he wasn't there.
Nope, no Pluto.
No, but they may change it all the time, so it's probably stupid to talk
They
about.
may. They may.
I really liked it. Here's the question, right? Maybe we should always ask, would you go back? I feel like the other ones we haven't said, asked that question, but I would go back there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would go back to the non-sit-down restaurant that I went to at Animal Kingdom. I would definitely go back. Obviously, you would go back to Le Cellier, right?
Yeah, oh, gosh, yes. Every time.
I would definitely go back to Chef de France, and I would go back to Be Our Guest, obviously. So, yeah. I guess we go
to Jungle Cruise. That's not the name. It's Skipper Canteen every time we go. So, say that's yeah. Can't miss us.
I feel like we like different flavors because, Skipper Canteen is like African inspired, different flavors. Chef de France has different flavors in it. Le Cellier has like the beer cheese soup and the mushroom stuff that goes on the filet. So I feel like our palate is it just wants more than a little bit of the cheeseburgers and French fries that you get at most places. So yeah, I would definitely go back to those and the non-existent Animal Kingdom one for sure.
You'll have to try one there. Okay. Last but certainly not least,
Disney's
Animal Kingdom. I mean,
Disney's Animal Studio.
That's it.
Disney's Animal Studio. So
where the Star Wars Safari is.
Where the Star Wars Safari is absolutely.
Oh gosh. I'll let you go.
We talked about this one.
Yeah.
We talked about this a lot last week because there's so many quick service locations in Disney's Hollywood Studios. I mean, you got the Backlot Express, you got ABC Commissary, you got Pizza Rizzo, the list just goes on. Woody's Lunchbox. Yeah, but there's one place that I love, and a lot of people don't, and I don't know why, but my favorite sit-down restaurant tucked away in the back corner of the park, all the way back past Muppets 3D, past Pizza Rizzo. Like, if you didn't know it was there, you would not know to go there. But there she sits. And that is Mama Melrose Restaurant Italiano.
Ooh.
I love it. I think the atmosphere is really cool. It's kind of, because you walk back that alley and it's all the way back in the dark corner. It feels like, an underground, Italian restaurant. The food is good. A lot of people say it's Olive Garden, but I think the food is much better than, Tony's at Magic Kingdom. The theming is pretty top notch there. And if you could look at the building, it's got cool things painted on it. It's set back in a little Italy, New York City kind of theme. So it's like an old New York City restaurant out front.
Which fit perfectly back in the day when there was
when the backlot tour and stuff was back there. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, so they decided they would rip the whole thing down, but that Mama Melrose was super cool. So they left it. She's staying as it is. If you go into the waiting area, it just feels like New York because there's photos of famous people on the walls and all sorts of stuff. So I just think it's super cool. The atmosphere is cool. The food is good. We usually try to hit that if we go on vacation, especially. We usually try to hit that while we're at Hollywood Studios for the day. So nice. I always get the chicken parmesan, and I've had the spaghetti and meatballs, and they're delicious. And I would go back and get them again. So Mama Melrose in Disney's Hollywood Studio.
Yeah, I have not eaten there, but I've never heard anything bad about it. That's for sure.
And it's always packed. It's always you walk in, there's 100 people waiting to get into the restaurant.
Yeah, I am all I've only been to 2 at Hollywood Studios, which is surprising. And so I'm just going to talk about both of them. At first I was going to pick the one originally, but then I was like, no, that did not have good food. You're 100% there for the unique environment. So I decided to go with Also unique environment, but I thought the food was good, and it's really fun as a family with kids, and that is 50s Primetime Cafe. So
Love
again,
that
like
place.
not like great food, like, but it is down home Southern fried cooking. Think I don't know what a nice down home Southern food place is. Think who's that country girl that like has the great restaurants and it's family style, and you sit there. Of course, this isn't family style. Anyway, rambling on. But yeah, food is good. It's like comfort food. But
Yeah.
you know, I remember I had the meatloaf, which was good. Kim had the Aunt Liz's golden fried chicken. But what's fun about it is the wait staff will pick on it, like elbows off the table, and then like finish your vegetables, you know, like, so they kind of pick on you a little bit, and so that's always fun, like for the kids. And I think it's good, like good feel good. Paula Dean's, that's the restaurant I was trying to
Paula
think of.
Dean. There we go.
Yeah, good home style cooking food.
Cooking.
But you do get your own tables, but it is funny that they pick on you. Now, the other one that I was talking about that we've eaten at was the Sci-Fi Diner. And that is, It is glorified quick service food that is much more expensive, but you're there 100% for the environment and experience. You sit like, it's like you're at a drive-in, and your tables are cars, and everybody's seat faces the screen. Well, not all of them, but I guess two people if you have more than four. We only had two, so this was pre-kids and we got this. But like, I just remember I was like, wow, that was really expensive for quick service food.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And I think they're starting to realize that, because starting tomorrow, I just saw this on Blog Mickey, our favorite site. They are getting some great new menu options at the Sci-Fi Diner.
Oh, nice.
Diner. I think that they're realizing that, hey, people are starting to catch on to the fact that this is just quick service, and we're charging them sit-down prices. So some of the things they're coming up with now, they're going to start serving a Sci-Fi smoked wings tossed in porter barbecue sauce with pineapple and poppy seed coleslaw, or some spinach and artichoke dip. So those are kind of more high-end appetizers.
Yeah.
And then they're going to introduce a black garlic Caesar salad, which sounds
so in for that.
pretty good, like romaine, artichoke hearts, applewood smoked bacon, and then black garlic Caesar dressing, or grilled chicken citrus salad. So it seems like they're trying to make it a little more fancy and not just serve the quick service stuff. So
yeah. And if you didn't believe
and then there's
go ahead, go.
No, I was gonna say there's some new burgers that sound awesome. There's one with like a shrimp and crab cake on top of it, and there's like a pork on pork burger that has it's like a pork patty topped with pork belly. So it sounds like they're just trying to upgrade the menu a little bit to make it a little bit
with
better.
it. Like they are burger heavy there, and I get like it's a drive-in, but like for all intents and purposes, it's a sit-down meal, and unfortunately, their prices reflect it, not the food. And to give you an idea, for lunch, right? I'm gonna go. Here you go. Drive-in barbecue burger, oven roasted turkey sandwich, flying saucer Impossible burger, classic American burger, salmon burger. Like, that's the majority of the menu. They do have feature film burger. Please ask your car hop about our newest feature. But anyway, to give you an idea, like the classic American hamburger. Let me read our signature blend of beef and house-made burger sauce, American cheese, applewood bacon, shredded lettuce, marinated heirloom tomato, served in a brioche bun. $20.
That's a lot.
It didn't say like Kobe beef. It didn't say filet mignon steak hamburger.
No.
That's just, and then it just goes up from there. The barbecue burger is $22. The feature film burger, which you don't even know what it is you're paying 50 cents more, $22.50. Please ask your car hop about our newest feature. It's like $22.50, please. It'll be a surprise.
We're gonna put some barbecue sauce on it. Congratulations.
The salmon burger, $23. So the problem that I had with that place is it's like you could literally go across the street over to the one right by Star Tours, and they have a handful of burgers.
Yeah.
And
they cost half the price.
Yeah, that's my problem. But it definitely a cool experience, worth doing once.
Paying for the atmosphere, 100%. 100%.
I think that's our parks. I think we did it.
I think we did it. I think we got all 4. That's surprising. And you can tell, like, we're far less passionate about the sit-down restaurants. And we're quick service. We're all over. Like, we can eat our way around a park without having to sit down.
Yes.
But we kind of have our favorites, and that's where we go. Like Dave said, Skipper Canteen. Like, if we're going to sit down at Magic Kingdom, that's where we're sitting down. We're not going to be like, hey, let's test out Liberty Tree Tavern. Right. No, we know what we're going to get.
I would consider that for us. Like, like when I go, that's a must do. Like, everybody has their like that's a must do, like, eatery for me. Like, if obviously if we doesn't work out, can't get a reservation because we either didn't plan ahead or whatever. But yeah, I'm aiming for that every trip now that we go. It's just, I love it. It's a nice break. It's, and it's at Magic Kingdom. I don't know, just like that's the park we go to the most every time we travel. We'll at least hit that place at least 2 days when we go. But how about we throw in a curveball? Which this is going to be low hanging fruit for you, but we'll do it anyway. And I'll let you lead because I already know what it is. Now let's pick your favorite sit down anywhere on property. So I'll let you surprise the whole world.
I feel like you think that I'm going to say it's the California Grill.
It's not.
I feel like you think I'm going to say that. Now I love the California Grill, and it's mainly, I love the California Grill. I love our server at the California Grill, and that's the main reason we go. So, it's good. I'm not a huge fan of it right now because they have the 50th anniversary menu. So the menu never changes. So, like, if we've been a bunch of times, probably like 4 times during this 50th anniversary window, but the menu's the same. So, like, I've gotten the same thing because I'm not a very adventurous eating type person. So, but I'm going to go out and say my favorite place on all of property, and it's just recently become one of my favorite places. And we usually go there brunch time. It is the Boathouse in Disney Springs.
Oh, I've never been there.
And we usually go at lunch. They serve these, or brunch, excuse me, only on the weekends. They serve these rolls with this melted honey cinnamon butter on it. That is one of the best things I have ever tasted. It is amazing. They're almost like, if you picture King's Hawaiian rolls.
Stop it right now.
And then melt honey cinnamon butter on top of them. That's what they are. But the food is great. We always sit outside right on the water. There's a big dock out there. There's the big lake where they take the boat cars out. But it has quickly become my favorite outside of the park restaurant. And we try to get there if we can, because it's just, the food is good. The ambiance is good. They serve orange crushes there, which remind me of Virginia Beach.
Yes.
And so I always have one of those when I go there. But yes, quickly becoming one of my favorite restaurants, the Boathouse, Disney Springs.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question.
All right.
The Tuesday that we're coming, we've opted to not get a park ticket since we can get into Magic Kingdom at 4:00 since we're going to the party, which reminds me I haven't bought that party ticket. Need to get those party tickets.
Should do that.
So I am going to try and get a reservation, and that's where we're going to go on Tuesday.
Nice.
Now my follow-up question is, can I just order like a dozen of the rolls and get nothing
now
else?
The only problem with the rolls is if you're going on a Tuesday, I think they only serve them on the weekend at brunch.
No, I'm going to bomb the place now.
Yes, I think they're only on the weekend. I think they only serve them from like 11 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday, maybe Friday. But I'm pretty sure it's only a weekend thing. The rest of the food is still good.
That is now the dumbest restaurant on property, and I will never go there. Instead, we're going to go get beignets at the other place, and that's going to be.
Call me up. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, but we should wait till go at night because you guys could come.
Yeah. I mean, one of us may be able to come.
Yeah. Good point. Okay, so now crap, it's my turn. No, it's
your turn.
Hands down. I tried to put it in every park and every experience possible. Ohana, hands down Ohana, and I'm going to try really hard this time.
Epcot's Ohana.
We fail every time, but I'm going to give it the old college try. That's where I want to go on that Tuesday that we're not going to, but it's so hard the way we're staying on property, but you typically get much luckier, or you get way better. You get way, I'm just going to say luckier. Like if you're trying to book later in your stay for for everything. And so I'm nervous that we're only there for 4 days. Am I going to have the opportunity to get Ohana only like being able to be the 4th day into what some people is going to be 10-day vacation, right? Yeah. So fingers crossed.
Well, I will also search for you as well. So
nice.
I'll see if I can help you get it.
I love it. Yeah.
When's the last time you've been to Ohana?
Wow. Pre-children.
But it left that much of a time ago.
Left that much.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. At least it was at
over
least 12
10 years ago.
At least 12.
Wow. That's crazy.
There you have it.
That's
our
crazy.
Useless information of Let's Eat Part 2, the
Let's
sit-down dinner or sit-down restaurant options, which leads us to what's Part 3 going to be? What is it?
Part 3. What is it going to be? I feel like Part 3 is going to be the best snacks at Walt Disney World. So we're going to go through I'm going to throw Dave a curveball on this one. So we're going to go with the best snack in each park and then also our favorite. So your favorite does not have to be the best snack in the park.
Yeah.
Like we know that you love Mickey pretzels with the gross cheese. Like that could be your favorite snack at the park, but in no way is that the best snack at Magic Kingdom. There's no chance that is correct. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the best snack and our favorite snack in each park. And hey, we may even throw another curveball and say our best snack anywhere on property.
Yeah, that one I got to do. I just shared it. So we're going to talk about it. Hands down. It's like a drug. All right, B-Palm, this was great. Part 2.
This is fun.
Part 3, I'll say for our next show, because Lord knows something might happen if we're not here next week. I'm not going to jinx us by saying, we'll see. We'll talk to you guys next week. And we'll
talk to you guys next week. Nope. Because we'll both have COVID or something.
Yes. The world will end. Then we're like, what happened to the podcast? Oh, I love it. Okay, family.
All right, family. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Until next time. Bye.
Until next time. Peace.